a shrill scream was heard in the courtyards. Meanwhile, I was busy in the garage, enjoying the spring twilight with a bottle of beer, but I didn't have time. Something that has been terrorizing us for a long time has taken someone again, and maybe I will also become its victim, but it's worth starting over. I live in an urban-type settlement in a 2-story house on the 2nd floor. I got a 1-room apartment from my brother, who moved to the city. As a carefree person, I don't care where and how to live. The most important thing is to have a roof under my head and everything I need nearby. Life would be peaceful, if not for one but something wandering around the courtyards of our settlement. You can ask a bunch of questions, but the answer is one. No one cares. There is no need to bother your head with all these subtleties. Moreover, the settlement is close to the status of a ghost settlement. Therefore, I don't think that anyone will help us. What is this something, you ask? If I could talk to the dead, I would answer the question, but I have no such gift, so I can't answer. Of course, there are those who have seen the monster, but the catch is that they all describe it differently. Sometimes a 2-meter steel alien, sometimes a Mothman, sometimes a chupacabra. The only thing that doesn't change in the description is the smell of fish. Lovecraft's stories with his terrible marine aesthetics immediately come to mind. Only there is no sea near the village, one seedy river, all the fish died there. Does this count? When and how this monster appeared is unclear. People suddenly began to disappear, and abruptly and quickly, as if they had fallen through the ground. They thought that they had simply quietly moved away, but where to? No one knew. A version of a cannibal maniac appeared, and they failed again. They also searched in the river, and again, nothing. Then the most attentive investigator, my old school friend, noticed that the water had dropped a little and had become a little black. It was one evening, he came to me to drink beer. A few glasses, told me a little more. He stayed a little near the river that day, wandered along the bank. He went a little further, where the water was too deep, and no one was swimming. It seemed to him that someone emerged from under the water. He did not have time to really see it, but he realized that there was something big in the water, and it was clearly not his imagination. He did not become a comrade to tell anything. He told me first. After that evening, rumors began to spread about a monster in our village. It is not clear where these rumors came from, but it is always easier to come to terms with the fact that otherworldly forces are to blame. Otherwise, how to explain the still missing people and the smell of fish in the mornings? There was simply no other explanation. Moreover, over time, screams began to be heard at night. It became clear to everyone that it was not a human being who was involved, but a real extraterrestrial evil. It all sounds ridiculous and funny, but that's how it is. It was as if I was in a typical horror story. In total, 10 people were missing, 11 if you include this evening. Most likely I will be the 12th. Clicking sounds were heard from the yards. Something was approaching the garage cooperative. I hid in the darkness of the garage, trying not to even breathe. The clicking sound was getting closer and closer, and then this monster appeared in front of me. A giant crustacean creature without a head. Its pointed legs loudly clicked on the ground, shaking everything around. The claws, real crushers with teeth, clicked, every now and then hitting something. An orange light shone from the hole where the head should have been, as if from the underworld. The pale flesh was pulsating, small tentacles were writhing, basking in the hellish light. Various body parts of the victims were sticking out of this flesh. Someone was still alive and calling for help, but their pleas were not heard over the guttural growl. I don't know what saved me then, the sharp smell of gasoline and diesel fuel, or Lady Luck. The monster stood there for a minute and moved on. I sat in the garage until the morning. As soon as the first rays of the sun appeared, I returned to repairing my car with the goal of escaping from here. I'll move in with my brother, stay with him for a while until I find a place to live. Yes, that's how it will be. I'll figure out how to deal with that apartment somehow. I'll come up with a reason to move. But I don't intend to stay here any longer. It was enough for me to see the one who steals people at night.